Okay, so we made it into the little town area where there's all the shops and restaurants and stuff. We just ordered a cheese pizza. We gotta wait about 10 minutes or so for it, and we're gonna grab some more food as we walk back that way on our way back to our house. But we were at a restaurant over there. We were gonna get some fricassees because they're really good and they're very inexpensive. They're like 30 cents a piece and they're very filling. This is one of the phenomenon that we have everywhere. We have this in Mexico, Colombia, here in Tunisia, and so we went into this, and it was a cafe like this, so it was up off the street. We walked in, there was about 4 people in line in front of us. As soon as we walked in, people just kept coming in, but there was no sense of where the line was at. So people were just packing in around the guy making the food. So you really had to focus really hard on who was in front of you, because people were just, inching forward, like they were just gonna jump in at any point and tell the lady that was preparing the food, like, this is what I want. And there was no respect, no regards for the people who were already there first, waiting in line. That's the first thing. And this isn't Tunisian, this is every culture. Okay, yeah, we're gonna move to another table. This isn't just, uniquely to the Tunisian culture, but it does happen here a lot. And you have to fight with these people, not like throwing fists, but you just have to kind of like insist on your place in line, because there is no respect to the people that get there in front of them. It's like survival of the fittest. And let me just say here that these are the things that I ponder in my mind of why the quality of life on Earth right now is so abysmal. And it's because these little things matter. It adds up in the aggregate. And then the justification of it, like haters will say, well, you're there, it's their culture, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but this is just basic human decency. It's like, you respect people, people want respect. People want to be able to come in, get in line, have order, and be treated fair regardless of where you live and what. And these cultures across the board have no respect for each other. And it's the same in Europe too. We're in Europe, people are just arrogant, rude, aggressive, passive aggressive, and it's the same thing here. But really what was the most disturbing thing was that the lady was serving a fricassee, which is like a little sandwich, and then a fried thing, which is basically the same thing, but it's deep fried and kind of sealed. And so she'd put one and one on a plate and serve it. This guy in front of us, he took his plate, he went back to the table, and then he came walking up with this fried thing in his hand. And I don't know if he took a bite out of it or not. The end of it looked like there was some of it missing, like he had taken a bite. He reached over the counter and he put it back in the serving tray where all the other same food things were prepared and sitting there waiting for the lady to serve. And he grabbed another one out of there. So he took one, came back, he put it in. When at that point, with the crowd, with the crowd just pushing in on the server, and I didn't want to have to, be like, hey man, you're cutting in line. I don't want to get in confrontation with none of these people anywhere on the planet. I'm just here to observe and report what I'm observing. But then when that dude took that food, God only knows if he took a bite out of it or not, and brought it back. Why did he bring it back? Unless he took a bite out of it and didn't want it for some reason. Maybe it had too much dough, maybe it wasn't cooked all the way through. I have no idea. But maybe he wanted another one, that's fine, but you just throw the old one in the trash. But the fact that some dude off the street was walking into that restaurant and handling food behind the counter, not going behind the counter, but he was reaching over the counter and grabbing the food himself and putting his food back. No. That's how you get hepatitis. That's how you get, like some kind of stomach issues, and then you spend the next 2 or 3 days going, man, my stomach just don't feel good. I'm getting cramps and I'm sitting on the toilet every 10 minutes. It's disgusting. And God bless everybody, but man, you guys really need to have more control over how you handle food, and you need to have more etiquette with how you treat people in a restaurant setting when there's obviously a line of people that have been there waiting to get service as well. It's really a disgusting human quality, And things are not going to get better in this planet. Everybody's focusing on the big things, like what countries are doing to each other and the leaders of the countries and all the different businesses and banks and everything that's, kind of running everything into the ground as fast as they can. But it's at this level, at the street level too, that I keep saying, at the street level, the individual level, if you're not going to do what needs to be done and be respectful and make the self-sacrifices and do the self-work, you're never going to get yourself up out of the mud, man. You're going to constantly be shaming people and being passive-aggressive and frustrated and desperate and be wondering, how can I hustle enough today just to get enough calories to survive, much less take my life to the next level. Just telling you what we had, the experience we had here in Tunisia this morning. It's crazy, man. I'm telling you, it's so crazy when you're living at this level of society and interacting down here at the very bottom levels, because you see things from a totally different perspective, especially whenever you're doing it for, I think we're 19 months in now, maybe 20. We may be at 20 months. I've lost track, but I have to go back and count. So we're at least 19 months into this trip, and man, we are seeing all kinds of different things at all different levels of things. It's crazy. Keep your hands out of other people's food.